car order. It's always been car order.
I strongly disagree.
That's the way it is. Ripped him out through the window in a nice way.
Just so I can go down and drink a carton while everyone punches on.
Just pisses me to tears. That's the worst thing you can do.
You shut up, you hack. Talking about boat ramps, this is what I wanted to get through from the start. What he said.
Oh, you just been an idiot.
And welcome to the Chumming Up podcast, the fishing, spearfishing, and ocean adventure podcast that is like live scope losers. Because the only one that's listening to our shit is our fucking mothers. I am Squirrely, and with me, as always, is the second best cod angler on our podcast, Lee Leewald Mitchell. How you going, shit tits?
I don't know about second best angler on the podcast. Maybe on our boat. You fucking actually did me for angler in the comp. If there was a piece of rope laying around and a milk crate, I could actually be in trouble. Like, fucking.
Mate, if I could find them, I'd give them to you.
But we have actually some cracking guests on the podcast tonight. We got back with us Tony Bennett that runs the best cod comp in the country, and the way this comp has been run is second to none to any comp I've ever been a part of.
It's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal.
We have the current champions of the Murray Cod Nationals 2024, and not arguably, definitely the best cod tournament anglers in the country, Thomas and Steve Pinter. Welcome aboard, guys. It's great to have all of you here.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You won't understand, Steve. He's a bit hard to hear. You'll get going once you warm him up, but no, good to have you boys here. Great effort. She's done and dusted now for the rest of the tales of the tape.
Yep. What info are you going to give us? Who won? Who did what? What's impressive?
All righty.
What are you happy about?
I'm happy.
How did I defeat Leewald?
That's probably the most impressive thing, mate.
Got that
if
cut.
I go into the individuals, we'll get straight to it. Oh shit! I've only got down to about 34th place. You're a bit lower than that, but as the event director of the 2024 Nationals, here proud to say that Squirrely, you have outshone the great Lee Mitchell.
Gave him a fucking touch-up.
It was like nearly a buddy pantsing, we'd call it.
Look.
One fish is a lot more than none. Doesn't matter how much you beat him by, you've got him.
Yeah.
You got bragging rights for 12 months, mate.
Okay, can we talk about the actual people that
All
catch
right,
fish,
all
not
right.
bottom of the barrel?
Yeah,
No,
you shut your mouth so you can get through till we get to the good
All
stuff.
right, so no, it was a great result. Quickly, I'll bowl through them. Before the event, the Blows went in as the favourites, closely followed by the Pinters we have here. But in 5th place, we had Jamie Kelly, Jamie Robinson. 4th place, Ricky Gower, Jack Kimpton. 3rd place, Boothie and Banksy, the Wilson boys. The pre-event favourite, Derek and Cade Blow, they finished in 2nd, but the runaway winners fished absolutely brilliant, especially off the back of an unbelievable day 2, was Steve and Thomas Pinter. So we've got them here. I'm going to hand over the mic. I'll get away. But yeah, the Pinter boys, it is the 4th win, I believe, you've had. We've won it 3 years in a row before. They came runner-up last year. They're back at the top of the tree. So yeah, all credit to them. They fished unbelievable. And, it's great to see a couple of Ripper blokes do well. So anyway, I'll hand this over to Steve.
Before you go, because they'll probably be too modest to say, like a 3-peat, is that before these guys, was that a common occurrence, or is that?
Early days, the first 3 years, we had one bloke win it 3 years in a row. He was a good fisherman, but surprisingly, he ventured other ways and he's gone from the scene. These boys have fished it for a while. Progressively, we've seen Thomas again as a young fella. I've actually known him. I've got pictures of him catching yellow belly and carp down here in the lake 25 years ago. Seen him come along, and he's worked himself up to, I believe him and Cade Blow are the 2 premier cod anglers in this country. Whether it be scoping or fishing straight out, they are the 2 standouts, bar none. It's great to see Thomas get the chocolates this year. Along with the old man Steve, and there's 100 other people here that are just as happy for them. Anyway, I'll hand over to Steve.
Cheers, Tony. And I think, like you said, bloody 3 years in a row, a second, and then a current win. Jesus Christ, I think in any format of anything ever existence, you don't get better than that, do you?
Nah. How do you feel?
Well, I'm not sure. It's just... amazing. I'm still stunned. I don't know what to think and talk. till actually, till Tony pronounced it, I wasn't sure where we gonna go because we had a bad start in the first day. We had not much happening there, just a couple of fish, or 2, 3, 4, 5 fish, but wouldn't count much to us. And second day, to me that was till lunchtime was a donut, and then afterwards we just questioning ourselves. I don't know what we're gonna do, and it just came along, feel amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely had to be honest, like years going back, looking at our first day result, you probably would have thought, okay, we're going to place. We didn't do too great, but you were going to place and just tick over some points. But looking into the first day, end of the result, we were sitting in 13th place. And going into the second day, we knew we had to change things up. We did. It was a bit of a swing and a miss, and it was actually a bit of a complete miss because we only had a fish just over 50 centimetres registered up until lunch break.
Yep.
Sitting there having the smoko, and just literally spot locked in the middle of the river, pulled out of the area we were going to work, and we just looked at charter waters, mapping, just on the Lawrence unit, just having a look, zoomed out and go, right, something needs to change, completely different bit of water, new technique, something else has to happen. And I just pointed to an area, and we just both looked at each other and just goes, yeah.
We just took a spin, that's it.
Yeah.
Take it, go, and let's have a go.
Yeah.
So is that a common thing between you two? Is it like a normal result where you both come up with the plan? Or,
well, look, if it doesn't...
sometimes is there fairly like, what the fuck are you thinking? Because that happens on our boat a lot.
Yeah, not going to lie. He's gone back, like the lake, they drain it, kill the weed, and it establishes back up again. So the lake evolves, it goes through stages. And then when there was one year in particular when the year before the kill off of the weed, the draining of the lake was absolutely choked with weed. And that's something we haven't spent a heap of time with.
Yep.
So fishing the areas that we were pretty much accustomed to was choked with weed. Floor to ceiling, weed, and actually on a day in particular live was readily available. We were able to use it. And that sort of sucked away from our time because we spent too much time dawdling around with the technology side of things, screens and all that sort of jazz. And again, same sort of thing. Up until lunchtime, I don't even think we had a scoreable fish. And back then it was actually 45 centimetres was the cutoff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we didn't even register a fish that morning. Yep. And we said, let's pull it out. We know where to catch fish. We coming out here after work, whatever, come up here for an afternoon, go for a flick, we can pull some fish. Let's just do that. But instead we've got those couple of hours extra of the day, so from lunchtime onwards. And sure enough, it's actually a bit of a memorable day. Me and Dad nearly pulled, off the top of my head, 25, 30 fish.
Yep.
And close to about, memory's gone, but probably 7 or 8 legal fish with fish in the mid to high 70s and plenty of fish in the 60s. And then we replicated that sort of a technique and pattern that we developed on those short 4 and a half hours after lunch. And replicated it through the next, that was day one, and we replicated it through the next few. And sure enough, we looked at the factors. Why did that produce? Like depth of water, current flow, that sort of stuff, the clarity of water. And then replicated it throughout the lake. We managed to find like 4 or 5 areas that just produced. And we just hopped different areas back and forth. This one copped a bit of pressure. There was another boat. No dramas. Let's go shoot to the next one. And also with the event having different lures as you would experience. So you've got spinnerbaits, hard bodies, and you go through the emotions of different techniques. We have to come up with stuff on a flight. You might have a really deep diving lure, but fishing that really deep diving lure might have a 4, 5, 6 metre bib on it. Actually became super effective in 3 foot of water.
Yep.
So the big bib on it and the high buoyancy, so those two factors working together allowed you to slow right down, but maintain depth, especially when you're rolling past weed edges, hollows of trees.
See, that's some cool shit.
Like, just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, you
like,
got to work that lure, really.
Yeah.
I purposely cast across. If there's lie downs across me, could be 2 or 3, even a branch sticking up. I cast purposely across it.
Yeah.
Most of the people say, I can't cast it because I get snagged. No,
Yeah.
I cast across it on
And-
purpose, and then work the lure towards it, play it across, lure creeps across, and then you rip it again and comes down. And usually when it comes down from the stump, it goes down.
Yeah.
That's where you get your hit.
There's actually a lot of finesse fishing
Many times.
Oh,
in this lake. There's actually
Yeah.
a lot of finesse.
totally, man. We're seeing that.
Downgrading
Yeah.
gear, like I'm running 30-pound braid, 30-pound leader, cutting braid with like feeling vibration of blades or the hard body kicking, picking up a bit of weed, pop on that rod tip. I've even got a little Ziploc bag of willow blades from a spinnerbait in my pocket.
Yep.
There's been many times if the fish don't eat it or you hit a tree or ripping it, popping it through the weed, pull that lure in, snap another one on, and you're off again. Like it's something, bit of a sacrifice you got to do, but hey man, it gets by. It's like in the weed, it wasn't as bad as this event.
Yep.
But weed was definitely noticeable already, and I wouldn't say it played a part in this event. It was more finding shade, bigger trees in the bigger the tree, but shallower water. Definitely
Yeah,
played
wow.
a big played a big part. So making your lure just disappear out of sight. The clarity was actually really good. Like we had 2+ foot of viz.
Yep.
As soon as that lure disappeared out of sight and then sort of sucked into laydowns into the shadows and stuff, there was a lot of trees where we were saying like there's got to be a fish there. And sure enough, if we didn't get a bite on that time, fishing other trees coming back again, we ended up getting a bite.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because the same thing, even the little amount of bites we got
Yeah.
was when you would expect it, not by accident bites, you know. And I think that's what's so cool. The little bits, the info that you're letting go there is obviously why you have won it, and that's what I personally love. That's what I'm here to see. Is just that sort of stuff. It just blows my
Yeah.
mind that what you did on day 2 is just the most incredible shit. I remember talking to you in the morning at the brekkie here at the club, and all we were talking was game fishing. We were talking black marlin, you know, and striped marlin.
Heavy
And
tackle.
then I see you, that arvo, and I'd been lucky enough to talk to Tony earlier in the arvo, and he's like, they caught 13 legals and a heap more in an hour and a half coming through, and I'm like, you fucking what? And
That's where the loose lips are.
I see you,
I
just come, he rocks up, and I just come charging through the pack, and I'm like, fucking hell, cunt, congratulations. Got my arm out
I know
shaking,
there's
and
only
he's
one
like,
person
and he's like,
having those results.
shh. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you fucking right.
Yeah, Thomas a couple of times said one fish measuring, and I'm already on the next
Yeah.
one, and it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's the,
So, like I said in the speech before, like I'd catch a fish, put it on the board, just take a photo, send it to Tony, and like Dad's not the best on the foot pedal.
Yep.
I don't run a hand remote, I run a foot pedal.
Now and then I do.
Run to the next snag or the other half of the snag.
I usually
pull that
say,
straight
set
away.
me up and then do the
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah, set him up. So
And when he does
he's
that,
off.
while he does measuring, set me up,
Yeah.
and then he's got
There
a
was
hook
so
on another
many
one.
That's the
times
way to
that
do it.
We sent photos like not even 5 minutes apart because that was the case. Of like he pulls that in while that fish is on the board. I'm reaching
You
for
get-
the net at the back,
Yep.
netting his fish is sitting on the floor of the boat. I'm like,
stop it.
what's
Oh,
going on?
Ah,
Yeah.
It's dream
It sounds
dream
a bit
fishing.
stupid,
This is
but
dream
We
fishing.
actually had a session where a couple of times we were just like, is this happening?
yeah.
Like,
Do you
is-
giggle?
yeah, we
You
had
giggle,
we had a
like-
fucking laugh. Like there was so many
Yeah.
times we were like, it was weird because normally those fish you get
Yeah.
aren't the size you need. They're just fish. They're like, oh no, he's too small. Oh, he might just make it. But it was like, nah, that's gone on the mat. That's getting counted. That's another one. There's another one.
Yeah.
It was just.
So,
odd.
so we can talk about that first for people that are listening for the rules. 50 centimeters here was a point scorer, and then 55 centimeters, which is the legal size of the Murray Cod, was. Are you going to correct
I'll
me?
grab the
Or
mic. No, I'm
fucking-
not going to correct you, mate. You're
You,
spot
you
on.
look like you're trying to correct me.
No, mate, you're spot on, but I'll just clarify.
2 more beers, I'm big enough to
That's
fight
it. Pretty
you,
simple.
but correct
As
me.
Squirrely said, 50 to 55, they got 1.5 points per centimetre. 55 to 60, they get 5 points a centimetre. 60 to 69.9, 6 points a centimetre, and so on. So the bigger your fish they get, once you get up to a metre or you get over a metre, they're worth 10 points a centimetre.
Yeah.
So the bigger the fish, the more points they're worth. Yeah, so as I say to people, it's pretty simple. You catch them, let me do the scoring. But it is...
Oh, but
I
you're
just-
missing a point there.
Just to
That
recheck.
55 plus with a sponsored lure on the day
there
gets
you
you
go.
bonus points. And that's the most important thing if you want to fish for a team like these guys have. So what you said is right. But if we're going to just throw it out completely, that is probably the most important part.
Exactly.
At
So
the end.
So each day we have a various lure sponsors day. So the first day was spinnerbaits. We had Best Bassman. Second day was a hard body day. We had Pimp Daddy and Gidgee. Third day was swim baits and any sponsor lure. Then the final day, you could use whatever you want. And we had sponsors lures. But again, as you've said, if you use a sponsor's lure, you get a minimal point. But that's what you're fishing this event for, is the points.
Yeah.
The boys, the afternoon, they got 13 legals. You're looking at 6.5 team points they picked up as an additional on top of their fish.
Yeah.
They've won this by, I think, just under 10 points. So it goes a long way into winning this event, is using the sponsors' lures. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the sponsors, they put up the prizes. It rewards them the other way with the competitors buying their stock. So
Well, I think that proves 2 points from everything that you've said. One is being a sponsor of a competition like this. We've fished other competitions, nothing like Cod, obviously, because we didn't do good. But the amount you get back for being a sponsor here is fucking enormous. And if anyone is interested, you're going to have to pay a fucking lot because... Because, you know, like, you do get something back. The best cod fishermen in Australia are fishing with your fucking lures, and they are making them fucking work. The second big thing you brought in there was about catching the bigger fish, how that leads to, like, good fishermen like myself beating average fishermen like Leewald when it comes down to the nitty-gritty.
that's it, mate. It's splitting hairs, but at the end of the day, every fish is worth points. I think you might have nutted him by about 100 points or so. A couple of positions, but...
Inch or a mile, doesn't matter.
Until you return this time next year, you got 12 months bragging rights, mate.
That's it.
I've seen you catch him here in the past. Again, this week you've smashed him. I believe you're probably one of the greatest cod fishermen I've ever seen come out of Western Australia.
Thank
You
you.
guys going to go and jerk yourselves off over there or what? Like, seriously?
Nah, just go to Cod Island, man.
Bit of
It
Cod
is
Go to Cod
Island
Island.
action.
That's all you need to do.
Jesus.
That's why Tony took you there.
So what's next, Thomas? After this, is it next comp or fucking?
Yeah, there's a few.
Scopus comps.
Oh, don't you start? Nah.
Fucking,
nah,
it's a
to be-
delicate
nah,
thing over here, isn't
nah,
it?
To be honest, I don't know if I can do an event, and I don't know. There's a couple on the calendar that are very live heavy,
Yep.
and I don't know. It's actually turned me sour a little bit to do that. Like, as I don't mind doing it as a social aspect. Like, it's entertaining, seeing fish, turning, chasing the lure down, smacking it, this sort of stuff. But for a tournament aspect for points, it's a little bit disheartening because I could be on this lake figuring out a pattern like I have been for this event,
Yep.
and I can have someone come from the other side of the country, literally come. You boys could rock up, have your live situation nutted out, and you've never been a Lake Mulwala, or in this case, come and potentially be very highly contested to take it out.
Yep.
Just because when you see a fish, you see the body language and everything else, or read maybe water flows or whatever, and you go, all right, there's going to be a big
Well, I
fish
don't think
here,
we're
blah, blah.
going to, but you would because the way you're already talking.
Yeah,
but
it's a little bit disheartening because there's people that call this their backyard. Like Tony was saying, how many years I've been here, and I could give my absolute all, and then all of a sudden I was maybe 100 metres away from a couple of metre plus fish, but old mate that came from the other side of the country comes and banks 2 of them in the morning. I don't know, some of them are 3, 4, whatever day events, and they do that consistently through those days. It sort of pisses away, or someone taking something from underneath me. It's like, Thomas, you could do better, but it's sort of, I don't know, in a way, someone taking away something that's you've worked for, but it becomes a little, it's a little bit hard to come across, but
Yep.
yeah.
I think
hard
we
work
fully
sort
understand.
of goes out the window a little bit for what
Yeah, no,
you,
just to add to
you
that,
do.
look, I was looking forward to have the scope and everything in the very early days with Thomas, and it was fun and everything else. Oh, yeah, look. It took me a while to actually get one on the hook. Then I got one, I lost it, whatever. Long story short, as I proceeded, I've got one on my boat myself, and I've got two materies, one with Thomas, one myself. No, actually three with my other son. It's not the same. It's not the same when you catch just casting
Yeah, okay.
for it. I'll be honest with you. After this comp now, I feel better now. I'm a fisherman now. I feel good. I
That
feel
is
damn
awesome.
good.
Felt that
It
while we were
tested my
fishing
knowledge.
today.
It tested my brain a little bit, especially after the first day, dropping the ball. Second day till lunchtime, dropping the ball, question marks everywhere. Actually, to me, scope, no go. I'm not saying I'm not going to use it again.
Like,
Yeah.
Just
when we're
maybe
up
just
here
to
for a
plod along,
weekend-
maybe a Sunday afternoon here,
Yeah.
play
that's
around,
right.
dick around. That's all
Yeah.
I would do. But not
Yeah.
chasing really that
Like when we
made a
go
fish.
take mates
I won't
out,
do that.
or chuck a couple cans in the
Just-
boat. Let's go have a look
to have
for
fun.
a couple of hours.
Yep.
Kids are in bed, dinner's sorted. Grab a couple cans. Let's go for a look. Happens, it happens. If not, cool. There's been, I couldn't even tell you the amount of quality big fish that we've got.
Yeah.
But I don't advertise it to the world because it's actually just wow. You're just pulling out for a measure and showing the whole world. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before day 2, obviously, first day goes past of a new comp where you're not allowed to scope, and you guys haven't done as well as what you would normally do
Yeah.
for whatever reasons, including. Did you feel the pressure on the fact that, like, because coming into this comp, it was like built like the scope's out. Fucking this is where people get to find out. You have a bad first day. Did you feel pressure on that second day where like people are looking at me like, fuck, maybe I can't catch fish without a scope?
Yeah.
Well, was that there?
I'm not gonna
Like,
lie, we spoke
You did,
about
Steve?
that. Yeah, coming into this event, we actually, I unbolted it from my boat, ripped out wiring because I didn't want anyone to go, oh, fuck,
Yeah,
when
he
they were
dropped
maybe
it in.
tucked away and stuck it in.
Yeah.
No, it was complete. I said to Tony, leading up to this event, we had a bit of a chat, and I said, nah, I'm unscrewing it. I sent him a video of me pulling it out of my boat, putting it on the floor of my garage. I said, look, if anyone wants to have a look, it's in the floor of my garage back at home, because I know this lake, it has open water, shallow water, backwaters, channel edges. There's so many different types of fishing, and it takes a lot to sort of dissect. One day it's good, one day it's shit house. You need to change your plan, like what happened to us, like on the fly. Things need to happen. I believe in this lake in particular, if the bite's tough, I still believe, I don't believe in lockjaw on fish. There's something
Exactly.
stupid
I'm the same as that.
you can do and still get a sack of fish. Whether change size, stupid retrieve, or just something out the box. Like I was telling you before about big bib on a super shallow water, just little things like that, or counter-sinking sinkers into lures so they suspend more, and sticking tungsten to them. Just so many things that can go, even heavy-duty split rings on a small lure just to make it suspend, just downsizing, upsizing, just the list goes on. There's-
That's
you know,
fucking
That's
awesome.
why it's so
Yeah.
exciting.
That's so
And
good.
I think I speak for everyone around Australia, and I don't know everyone, but I have just done tours of Australia. I don't think...
If everyone knows you, they don't.
Or
Yeah.
troll
They're
the
very
guts
good.
up a river and
Well,
have a
that's
lure
right.
out the
But I
back
mean,
and bang a
I
90
don't
in the
think
middle
you
of the day.
need to worry about sending a video of unbolting your scope, because your credibility is through the roof around Australia amongst every quality fisherman I talk to, mate. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
When I rolled in here, everyone knows who you are. You know, you guys set the benchmark. I think it's cool as fuck. You know, and I'm with you on the lockjaw thing.
Yeah.
Half the reason I'm here is because I love to see when you talk to other guys and they go, oh, but it was blowing from the northeast, so they don't bite. And then you come in and go,
No
yeah,
chance.
but we caught 20, and it's like, what you're saying means bullshit. Stop coming up with
Same thing
excuses,
with
you
game.
weak prick.
Same thing with game fishing, man.
Yeah, with all
He's
fishermen.
teasing them up,
Exactly.
can't get him to
Listen,
eat. There's
before
always
we get off
something
the
to do.
scope, I'm going to
Yes.
take us off the scope because
All
it's a very
right, here we go.
contentious
Here we
issue.
All right.
But again,
Where are
it's,
you going to
it's-
take us?
Oh, we can take you anywhere. I'm not going to show you, but I'll take you there. But it is known. Like, personally, I hate the scope. I've got one. But this event has shown that, especially Mulwala, like, I don't give a shit. It's Eildon in the stock pond or buddy coped in another stock pond. This is Mulwala. It's a home of Murray Cod fishing. You can come here day after day, week after week, and especially tournament fishing here. Like Thomas and Steve and the Blows and the others at the top of the tree have proved. You can catch fish day after day, whether it be hard body spinner baits, swim baits, whatever you want.
Well,
You
Squirrely caught a couple, so anyone can
That's
come and
it.
do it. If you're listening, literally,
get here.
if you
Yeah.
have no arms and legs and like some sort of mental disorder, just Squirrely caught a couple. Seriously.
100%. And I beat Leewald.
Exactly.
But,
And that's what I'm getting at. So,
Again,
like, fuck.
it is the home of Murray Cod. I do see the benefits with the scoping, but as Thomas mentioned before, we've seen the scoping comps here. Boys have came, and again, they are the best of the best scopers. I'll call them straight out scopers in Australia. They're great fellas. I'm not going to name them. They are a couple of the nicest blokes you'd ever meet. They've turned up. They've fished here, stuff all. But again, all the rest of the boys knew they're only competing for second and third. You are not going to compete against the best of the best when it comes to scoping. It's like playing buddy Space Invaders or buddy Pac-Man. If you're the best at that, you're going to win it. But anyway, God bless scoping. I'd like to think we can get away from it. But yeah, good stuff. Squirrely, you didn't need it to smash them, mate.
Thanks, mate. I just needed a good nap, man. No, I'll be honest. Like,
And who was on the electric out of you two?
Mate.
Who was you were on the electric?
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
wait, if we're going, like, while
And
we're...
he was at the back of the boat and he spoke
wait,
to you.
wait,
yeah.
wait.
Alright, yeah.
So, obviously, we've
Don't
never
you
fished.
shut up,
We've
Leewald.
never fished before, but, wait,
So even
every
playing field.
day, I caught fucking way more fish than him.
Oh, okay.
So, today I caught 6. How many did you catch? None. Right? So,
I don't
but
know.
he tripped over all the best ones.
Is
And because of
Hang
the
on.
fucking scoring,
Wait.
you get like one a day.
And on paperwork, who was higher?
what
He done me on
exactly?
paperwork.
Is there a scoreboard that
But
tells you
there
who the best
there
fisherman
wasn't
is?
a day
'Cause
where
I'm
he
pretty
caught
sure-
anything like I did.
I'm pretty sure these guys are the best fishermen because of the scoreboard, buddy.
Paperwork shows everything.
The scoreboard.
Yeah, that's true.
tells
That's
you
true.
where
I
you
got
are.
done.
I'm not,
I got
I'm
done,
not having
huh?
to dig at you,
Totally.
but paperwork speaks.
No, it's totally. But if it was numbers, I had him, which doesn't count. But just because of the electric comment, I needed to say something because it was.
Pinter, I need to ask you the most important question, right? So you're down in a comp. Could be any comp. I don't know if you've ever felt this way. You're probably too good a fisherman to ever have been there. But you're down in the comp. You're thinking you can't win. There's 7 minutes to go. The hooks come off your lures. Do you just go, nah, I give up? I give up.
Nah, never.
Nah,
man.
you would never do that?
Nah.
No, we don't.
You would never do that? Yeah.
Especially how I was saying earlier, like, there's always an opportunity to get a bite from fish. Like,
This
What-
is
what
a
I'm gonna-
great
so I'm gonna-
lesson to learn.
I'm gonna
a
put-
great lesson
go.
to
I'm
learn.
going to jump in here, Squirrely, and quantify this
Yep.
because it was either 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep.
These boys won by, now you'd understand after fishing the event, 0.63 of a point, which is 4/5 of fuck all. In this week, like over 5 days fishing.
Yep.
But it came down to 1 minute to go on the last day with a legal fish that they weighed in, which got them across the line. So,
Whoa.
as you're saying, you never give up.
yeah. Funny story that we actually caught it, I think, 5 minutes before finish.
And I remember we got a message from Tony, some funny talk there.
Yeah.
Going on.
Bit of a razz up with everyone. We got that fish 5 minutes before comp time end.
Yeah.
No phone reception to shoot it through.
What would somebody give for one more fish?
That I will never forget that. You
message.
said what some people would pay or what they would give for one more legal fish.
Yep.
And I felt like Tony was standing on top of a ladder and just looking straight at me.
Yeah.
across the
What
lake.
are you doing? Hurry up.
But I was in the thick
That was
of the
amazing.
absolute mess of trees.
Yep.
That fish came in the boat. I didn't think it was a legal fish, but put it on the jack and plate to land it down. I put it down, and it was 55. It covered the number 55. So I remember it was 55.
Just over. Just go.
And covering that legal fish aspect, getting those much better points. Being in the thick of the crap, no phone reception to shoot it through, and I believe there was a cut-off for the, obviously for the texting through. I ripped the electric up, buckled the rods down. I said, sit down, hold on.
Through the timber.
Yeah, through the thick of the shit.
Yeah,
I said,
well,
all right, what's the cost of a prop? Who cares? I literally trimmed up and gunned it. I was going 60, 65 Ks through some gnarly crap, which I normally idle through and dodge crap.
Yep.
Don't know how I missed everything. As soon as I got near a bit of open water, look at my phone reception, sent it through. As soon as I sent the text and said delivered, I got on blowout, gave him a call, and then confirmed it. It was touch and cloth.
So you didn't break anything going through the trees?
No, just me soul.
So when we talked the other day, you said you haven't broken anything yet, touch wood, like in the lake, or you have, but not anything too bad.
This event was different.
Oh, okay. So I went through a similar thing. So I was in Game X, our fishing tournament back home, and we hooked a hammerhead shark on 4 kilo line, and back then you could kill them, not like they do now. And it was game-changing points. And we fought it after lines out, so in there you can radio in if you've hooked it before,
still
and you
fighting.
can fight on.
Yeah.
But you still only get 3 hours. And when you fight a hammerhead shark on 4 kilo line, it goes through. So we actually land it. It's dead on the deck. You got to lift it on. It took a bit. And we get to the boat ramp, and it's a dual boat ramp, and we're literally talking minutes. We got to get this thing back to the gantry, or it doesn't count, and it'll change the comp. And there's one ramp that's sanded up and fucked, and you can't get into, and the other one's got this Gumby old bloke there winching on something, and you're like, this is going to be ours. So I drive me 7 metre glass cat on, smash the leg on one bit of it, the whole bit, props fucked, shafts fucked on it. And, we've got to use it for another 3 days. But it's still the Australian record, 154 on 4. So sometimes you got to do these things. You win a comp with it. And, so
Biscuit
that's
to
what
get the
happens,
biscuit.
isn't it? So,
You got to bend rules a little bit sometimes.
He got the fishing story, but he missed the part today where 7 minutes to go.
Around. 6 minutes.
6 minutes to go. He's behind me in the comp. He loses the hooks off
The hook
his...
didn't fall off. The fucking willow blade fell off. They got shit split rings on them.
Yeah. Loses that off the lure. He goes, I give up. I give up.
I didn't say I give up.
I
said,
give
I've had
up.
enough.
I'm a coward. Fat loser coward. And I go, mate, just cast the cod dog. And he goes, no. And then he sits there for literally probably 2.5 seconds and then just goes, okay. And then casts that and gets a cod with fucking 3 minutes to go before the...
It wasn't enough to do you, so that's what I was
Yeah.
hoping it'd be. So I had what Thomas's story was.
Dead set on that last fish. It is a true story, the last fish, and it brings back a memory I was meant to produce tonight. I might give it to you in retrospect. I didn't hand it out in there tonight. Every day we have a nearest the pin. There's always someone somehow that's, whether it be a fuck-up story or something about their fish. Today, it was penciled in my book to give that to you for the last fish registered for the comp. So, mate, officially, I will announce it here. For all those that are listening out there in Listener Land, Mum and Dad Squirrely. And,
and Live Scope losers.
and Live Scope, the loser. And hopefully my mum gets on board. She's a grouse chick.
Yeah.
I'd like to congratulate Lee Mitchell. Today you're the nearest to pin winner. $125 Jones Doyle voucher, Fish Camp Ski Moe Whaler.
I get-
Congratulations.
Tony, so all I'm hearing is I'm better than Squirrely. So
I
I've
get
actually
half
picked
of
her.
that.
What was
No.
the pin size? What was it?
No, it was just on. It was Bees
Yeah,
Dick
it was
over.
just over, yeah.
I give it to losers that have.
Yeah,
I give it to losers that have tried all week and they need something.
I was going to say, hey, what was it, like 55 on the dollar?
It was a
55
scorer.
on-
No, it was under.
No,
It was a
only
scorer.
Just a score. I was just trying
Oh.
to beat him. I'm
But-
like, this might give me the fucking 50 points I need.
Just got
Hey,
him
what,
half a
what was
fish.
it, just over 500?
yeah.
Just better, mate. It's a
It was
scorer.
505.
And it was at and it was weighed in at 4 p.m.
Oh,
so
you-
good
Put
effort.
it,
Well
put
done.
it in,
It was
Pinter.
two-
Fucking
It was
protest.
2 minutes.
Protest.
So you might have done me.
Nah, fuck him. Protest.
Let him have the
I want to
Let him
protest
have the
happen. Here we
$125
go.
voucher.
No. Nah, it's all yours.
What
Nah,
is
fuck it.
what is winning the comp when you can watch Leewald cry in the middle of
Yeah,
the
into my
night?
pillow.
Come on.
What did you say yours was?
505 at 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, here we protest.
got it.
Protest.
Did you send that in?
You verified it.
Yeah, you wanna hope
Oh,
he did. He
fucking
won.
there you
but
go.
that was scored before his. His was the last cod of the event.
Oh,
That's
the
what I'm
latest
His
one.
was the last of the
Yeah.
event.
I got
The
five.
lucky last.
One of the...
Fucking
sport-
how
just
competitive
You were the
are
second-
you, mate?
You were the second last.
You're trying
no,
to
it
take
was
from
just-
the retard here.
Oh.
Now. Lucky I don't have feelings. And also, fuck you, Thomas. Not right off the bat.
No, I take kids off. I take loads off the kids. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Don't worry
Nah,
about
it's
Yeah.
that.
all right. All
Yeah.
good. All
Fuck
good.
yeah.
Good
Nah,
banter.
Oh, it's perfect. It's exactly what we're looking for. That's
Yeah.
the whole reason we're here.
Have you got any more questions before?
Well, what I want to know is now we're talking about the big ticket. Not talking about champion team, champion angler. We're talking about last at the bar. So 3 nights running. I've bought the last drinks over the bar, been here drinking. Who's going to challenge it? I've been kicked out as the last person allowed to order.
Oh, no one gives a shit, Leewald. The reason why no one else is at the bar is because you stink because you haven't had a shower for 3 days, mate.
You guys like keep it in the back with the showers.
No,
Yeah.
we are showering. I'm just about to steal
No, no.
this cum
With
over
each
the
other.
back of the head.
With each other.
Oi, you,
Who's got two
Oi,
back?
I'm even. Oi, but hear me out here.
Has he been
Where-
showering?
We
He looks like a Dodger.
we are in the netball rooms, and whoever's built them has built a dual shower. So we got some pervert dudes there. There's no divider. There's 2 shower heads.
X-mouth, there's water
Yeah.
restrictions.
Yeah.
Well, of course we have to use it. No.
He
Yeah.
fucking nailed it.
That's all right. All good. All good.
Yeah.
We're good.
But thanks for coming aboard,
Nah,
Thomas
it-
and Steve. You guys are
Easy
fucking
done.
legends of all game fishing scenes. I think it's unreal.
Yeah. I think
The
that's
sunglasses, Dave.
the most awesome thing we've seen here is fucking absolute weapons of fishermen that have won the comp. Everyone at the top end of the fucking spear has been like legends.
Yeah.
Not just great, which is awesome to watch, but also modest and like very accommodating with their time. I think everyone here should like the comp, the people, the competitors, yourselves for fucking winning
Yeah.
it.
Like even at
Holy
lunch,
shit, it's
y-
amazing.
yeah, even at lunchtime, like putting up, having a smoko, just have that half an hour, lay down under a tree on the bank, pull up on the bank, and just chatting to other competitors. Everyone's open to share, just how they're going, what's working, what's not. Even
Mate,
giving
lunch-
each other tips.
Lunchtime
And
is the shit.
yeah, it's
I've never fished
awesome.
comps with lunchtime.
Yeah, it's actually good because
I
like,
actually
normally
love
you wouldn't
it.
eat. You
It's a
just
great
fish all
idea.
day and you get
Love it.
flogged. But
Love it.
time you come here, you've got your head on your table and you just want to go to bed. You want to pass out or you have a beer and you're done.
Yep.
Whereas that sort of makes you eat, makes you rehydrate,
Gives you
bit of a
a comeback.
rejuvenation.
Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not because
No one's
you're missing
getting
out on a
laid.
potential bite window.
Exactly.
Everyone's on the same playing field.
Totally.
I'd rate it huge.
Oh,
Like it's actually
The first
it's great.
time when I read the rules, I was like, lunchtime. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
no,
Even
And then
small.
we did the first day, and me and Squirrely
Yeah.
are like, this is the best thing that's ever happened.
even
it
small
should be
things-
2 hours long.
Small things of having your lunch sorted, a bag of ice.
Oh,
You drink
mate.
so cold, like soft
Yeah.
drink water.
it's just
I drink so much more.
It just comes
water
together.
on-
It's just
while I'm
works
out there
together
casting
well.
because it's cold. Like normally I'll just
Yeah.
have it, throw it in the floor of the boat,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm not drinking that. It's hot now. Like,
Yeah.
But you drink so much more water. You eat better. You chill out, sit down because you've been on your feet the whole time. And then you actually sit down, maybe plan the Arvo session, something like that. It just fully powers you up again for the next. Maybe re-rig some stuff because you don't normally. You just like you don't want to be pissing away time.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
yeah, that sort of stuff. Just it's a bit of a game changer.
The main thing is also you gotta. What Thomas just said is, you gotta be a team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how low you are.
Mm.
You still gotta.
Yeah.
We might be lacking
Respect.
that a bit with the
You
way
can be an
I was
awesome
treated.
individual,
Maybe
but
you
you've got to
two
gel
are
as a
maybe
team.
not that
Like,
level,
you've got to be
but
up
you-
to-
No, but that's right. And that's
Maybe you
what's
two
cool.
are not that level, but you gotta still combine. You still believe in each other. The lowest you can get, still pick yourselves up and
Oh, totally. And
still
that's what's
understand
cool.
and
I
get
think,
on with it and go
like,
with it.
Totally
It's
for
just
me,
amazing.
I like just as the outside watching it and fishing it. We had a ball fishing at me and Squirrely, like an absolute ball. It's been unreal. I haven't fished like bass tournaments in the States or whatever, but you see the individual ones the way they sell it, and that's not quite for me. I love team fishing, and that's why I love game fishing. I love it as a team, not like individual accolades are awesome, but they're only second to the team. And exactly what you said, Steve. And the other thing, like with the lunch where everything's made and that, every morning, because I'm hungover because I'm at the bar, is I go and get a coffee and I don't eat half the time. And Cheryl comes and brings me a bacon and egg sandwich and she goes, here you go, take that with you.
That lady's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
She-
and
There's a
it's
lot of
like-
love in this
I
behind the
look
scenes.
around the
There's
room,
just
it's
a
like
lot.
there's 80 people in the room. How can you tell that I haven't eaten?
Yeah,
it's-
like even
she's
Dad
incredible.
being crook on the boat and stuff like that. I swear, half the competitors came up and go, "How's your old man going?"
Oh,
Yeah.
Or even on the water, I got messages, "Is your dad alright?" Like, or even guys saying, "Oh, I'm going past the servo. What ramp are you going to? I'll bring something."
Yeah.
Or I had boat troubles. People race past, they double back, come back and go, "You're alright. Do you need something?"
Yeah.
I had people asking if I needed a battery or if I needed to be towed. Because I had a bit of an issue where I had water getting my fuel tankers. Me fuel cap blew off in the dash, just racing across that chop, blew off, and having to cop a bit of a wave, and set off a few alarms with water getting me fuel, and people were jumping on me to help out, do something. I even had a competitor say, "Look," it was actually Shane because he bought us in the auction.
Yeah,
he goes, "Look," he goes,
do anything.
"Here's my boat." He goes, "You boys take it. I'll go get pissed with my younger
He says,
brother."
I
He
go
was
to the
actually my
pub
younger
here.
brother's partner.
I go to the pub here, take my
yeah.
boat.
I'm going to get blind at the pub.
Yeah.
And he
But I
goes,
think-
"Take my boat, go
But
fishing."
from what I've seen from the other competitors, the
Yeah.
top guys, they would probably do the same, not just buying you. Because
Yeah.
from what you see is, people want to beat the best. They don't want something to happen to do it. People want to compete against guys. They don't want excuses. If you win, you want to beat someone because you won. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's how you want to do it.
Yeah.
But
And-
then also there is this true genuineness through the whole thing,
100%.
where people are looking out for each
Yeah.
other.
Like last year, just funny you said about the competitiveness. Last year, we finished second. Like, I'm not going to lie, pretty stoked. Obviously, stoked with the result. But it made me go, next year, I need to work harder. Like, you didn't... I actually found out, like, I had... Obviously, my kids were growing up at a young age. My wife needed more of a hand, so it was a bit more set back in a way. And then I said to her, like, leading up to this event, I gave up playing 15, 16 years of semi-pro soccer, and just to compete in my passion and take it that step further and have that more of a drive, and it sort of relayed into this, that competitive nature, so to speak,
Yep.
with my passion as well. Because I know when I do these tournaments, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in. And if you mix it with your passion, man, is not that you're not going to work. You're going to have fun at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then what ends up happening is if you don't even your recreational days, if it's not work in a way, it's not fun because
That's right.
like it's like any sort. It's not fun. It's not fun where guys are like, oh, but you could just go out at lunchtime or whatever, and it's like, but that's not fun for me. That's how you like it.
Yeah.
But for me, I like it to be what you call a job.
Yeah, that's
Where
right.
you got to,
100%.
if there's no focus, then it's not what you enjoy at all.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Thanks so much, guys.
Nah, fucking. Thanks for coming on, boys.
No dramas. Always a good chat.
Anything you want to add?
No, I think that was bloody unreal.
Yeah, awesome.
What
Anytime,
about you,
boys.
Tony? Is there
Thanks.
there's always something you want to fucking add?
No, mate, no, I'm
No?
just like a little mouse, mate. Sit back and say bugger all.
I,
But no,
I reckon that's the worst description I've
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
heard.
a 6'4"
little
mouse.
6'4" mouse that
doesn't
likes to
talk
talk a
much.
lot.
No, look, again, for yourselves from Thomas and Steve, all the rest of the crew that have fished it, we've had a magnificent week.
Yeah.
Great result in the end to see the cream rise to the top. Thomas and Steve, number 1, Caden Derrick, number 2, Boothie and Banksy, number 3. You probably couldn't have wrote the script any better. Magnificent, great fun to have you boys involved. Thanks for coming. And that's it from me. Over and out from me.
Well, cheers, boys. Thanks for
thank
chumming
you.
up. Fucking
Cheers.
awesome, mate. Yeah, and yeah,
Thanks so
catch you
much.
next time.
Oh my god, what the fuck is happening right now? Dolphin in killer whale's mouth? Holy shit. Oh, this is the best day of my life, God. What?
I like going down the pond chasing bluegills and kamikazes.